What's going on, everybody? Alex with you here again as usual. Thank you for dropping by for yet another short, hopefully this time short chess video. If you notice that the color is a little bit different from what you guys are used to, it just means I let a friend of mine borrow my camera, so I'm actually using a completely different setup. With that being said, actually I was on the House of Staunton website just recently where I stumbled upon in their clearance section on this relatively unique item that I really didn't even know that existed. It's a little chess puzzle calendar, which is really unique idea and a really unique gift idea in my opinion for a lot of people out there that are looking for like last minute gift ideas. This should have been probably a video that I should have done. Had I known that this particular calendar existed, I should have probably done this video in like December or maybe the first days of January. But now that it's already March and it's like 3 months too late, this I picked up for like $6 in the clearance section. So they're basically like selling these off because nobody's buying them, I suppose, or well, there's no use of buying it now because like half of this thing is basically done for. But it's a really, really unique and cool idea. And what it is it says here in the back, the perfect gift for chess players of every level. From masterminds of American Chess Magazine comes this addicting day-to-day calendar of chess puzzles. Challenge yourselves with problems of varying difficulty throughout the year. Really cool. Created by generations of well-known chess composers ranging all the way from 1900 to the present day. So originally this retailed for $16.99 US dollars, Canadian dollars would be $22.99. Let's take a look. Made by Universe. So that's all basically that came is this little box. And when you open it up, you have this little calendar. Now this type of calendar is very much so like those little calendars that you rip off. I'm not used to those type of calendars because, well, I don't even think we have a calendar on the wall anywhere. Just kind of, if you need a calendar, you look at your computer or something. Nowadays, things are different. But yeah, so you basically start off, and there's these little perforations at the very top to where you basically start ripping things off as you go, so you don't actually like bend it back or anything like that. On the back side, you have this little tiny plastic sort of handle that you push out, and you can lay this right on the flat surface somewhere like a table or something. Alternatively, I suppose you can make a couple of holes and just drill this into the wall if you wanted to do it that way. Or maybe you can get some stickies like the dual-sided stickies that are sold at like hardware stores. That's probably what I would do, and just stick them on each side and maybe stick one on the top and just glue this thing right up to the wall. The only problem with that potentially is that by the time you're done with this, you might notice that some of your paint would have come off. So yeah, so the way that it works is how to play chess. The puzzles in this calendar are 2 movers with white to play, so 2 moves. This means that for every puzzle, white is to make the next move, and that solution to each puzzle is for the white to checkmate in just 2 moves. Below each puzzle at the bottom of the calendar page, you will find the solution to the previous day's puzzle, written in informal chess notation. Yeah, starting off December 31st. So yeah, ideally I probably should have done this video in like, yeah, end of, maybe like middle of December. But I didn't, like I said, I didn't even really know that this existed, which is, it's still cool. 2 move chess puzzles for check and mate. So basically what you do is right up here at the very top, it says Joselito Marcus 2021. And then solution on the following page. Monday, January 2nd. And then you have this puzzle. Next puzzle. Oh, and where's the solution? The weekday, here we go. Weekend solution was knight to e7. And so the nice thing about this particular calendar is it's made out of this like normal paper, so you can just take a pencil or something and just pencil your solution in, and that's it. But it's a really nifty and cool idea for, like I said, for a gift, or even for yourself. If you want to pick one of these up and place it somewhere to where you can readily have this accessible to you and you can't avoid doing a chess puzzle, it's like forming a habit, which I feel like habit forming is so important, unless they're bad habits. And you just put it somewhere in plain sight where you know you have to get to that puzzle, and it really doesn't require you a whole lot of time. You just look at it for a couple of minutes and solve the puzzle and then move on with your day. That way you can at least continuously have the mind going on about, playing chess, especially for those of you guys who are not or who haven't been playing chess for a while. This is a really cool way of getting back into chess. So even though it's March right now, I think this is still a pretty cool idea. It doesn't really matter that we've skipped and we didn't show this in January, because we can catch up. I think we can. If you do 2 chess puzzles per day, then probably you're going to catch up by May or something like that. And then you can just continue on from there. But like I said, I think this is a really, really classy idea in my opinion. So yeah, chess calendar. I'm going to be looking forward to picking up one of these in December of 2023. Probably they're going to have them out. But I didn't even know something like this existed, and I do now, so I'm super happy. And be sure to hit that like if you like this idea. So anyways, second thing I wanted to show you guys, this is a chess bag, the most ubiquitous little chess bags out there, especially for Scholastic tournaments. I've hesitated on buying this for the longest time, and I've already talked to you guys about how I just really kind of don't like these just because of the way that they're fabricated. But this is going to be like the least expensive chess bag that you can buy. I think that it's still useful, and I'm going to show you here in a second why I feel that way. First of all, the bag is relatively simple. There's no extra straps or any adjustments to have to fiddle with. All you have is these 2 little handles. The handles are not adjustable, but you really don't need an adjustable handle for this. You just carry it like a little briefcase, and that's it. You only have 1 compartment, so you don't really have to worry so much about putting your pieces in one compartment, putting the other pieces in the other compartment. So this is, in my opinion, really quite a simple design for especially kids. Scholastic tournaments, I saw these all the time. The underside here is where your board goes. This is part of the reason why I didn't really like the construction of this particular bag, because this space here, it's not stretchable. It's made out of this sort of a leather-like material that the whole bag is made out of. And so therefore, when you have your board, you really have to roll it up nice and small in order to fit it in here. And then what you do is you just release the board, and it sort of stretches out, and it pushes its way in the walls of this, and then it stays in there nice and snug so it doesn't come out. But as we've seen some of the other bags, first of all, when you put a board in here, you probably would want to put like a vinyl board. I've seen these with vinyl boards work the best. Silicone board has a lot of resistance because it's kind of rubberized, so it's kind of hard to wedge in here. And then silicone board is probably going to be kind of falling to the side a little bit, so it just wouldn't look attractive. Vinyl boards work probably really well because you can sort of roll them up really small and push it in here, and you wouldn't really have a problem with rolling them. So for kids on Scholastic tournaments and all school events, I think a vinyl board is a great combination. Maybe with some plastic pieces in here would work marvelously in my opinion. A mousepad board, a lot of the mousepad boards are extra thick, so when you roll them up, the problem is they might, when they're rolled up fully, you really have to tighten them as best as you can before you try to place them in here, because you don't get a lot of space in here to push them in. So you'd really, like I said, especially for kids, it requires a little bit of resistance, so I feel like a vinyl board would work best with this particular bag. The inside, like I said before, the inside's relatively spacious. You get quite a lot of real estate here, so you wouldn't necessarily be too worried about all your pieces being, fitting in here. In fact, I'd probably say that only about half of the bag is going to be filled when you put all your plastic pieces in here. You can store wooden pieces in here as well if you want to take wooden pieces to your tournament with you instead of plastic pieces. You probably, don't quote me on this, but you probably might even be able to fit two sets in here, but then you're only carrying 1 board, so it probably wouldn't make sense unless you're bringing an extra set for some reason or another. But the way that it's designed, so for 1 chess set here inside would work quite well. I think the main reason for having these is, well, first of all, when you're walking in somewhere and you have the board sticking out the sides, everybody can see what you have. It's a chess bag. These are probably the most commonplace chess bags out there, and they're the least expensive. I think you could pick one of these up for probably under $10. So especially in a situation where you might be like a tournament director and you're looking to purchase in bulk, this is probably going to be the way to go because they're, well, they can last for a long time and they were made relatively well, but they were relatively inexpensive. So if you're buying like 200 chess sets, you know, you're not probably going to be buying the really, really expensive ones. And this is a really good option, okay? Another thing about this, like I said, is because people realize you're carrying a chess set, so anywhere you go, everybody looks at this and says, yeah, he's got a chess set. Whereas like some of the other briefcases that I show you guys, they're great and they look like low key, they're inconspicuous, but at the same time, if you show up somewhere like to a library or maybe to like a mall or a shop or somewhere to play a game of chess, you don't really know what's inside the bag, and potentially some people could confuse it for something because it looks irregular, so it almost could potentially be confused for like a gun bag. And you don't want to have somebody accidentally confuse it for something that it's not, and you know, just scare people unnecessarily. But in this case, yeah, the board is hanging out the sides, so clearly people can see what it is. So there's kind of two ways about that, depending on, you know, whether or not you want people to know you're about to play chess or not, okay? So yeah, that's about it. Hopefully this video wasn't like 40 minutes or anything, but I wanted to share these two things with you. Be sure to comment below if you have these bags. How long have they lasted you? Like I said, this is my first purchase of this particular bag, and I'm gonna throw some of my pieces in there. So this is gonna be a great way for me to just basically have my pieces stored, because I can put it somewhere on a hook, and then the pieces won't get damaged or anything like that. So let me know what you think about this video. Be sure to hit that like button, and also be sure to stay tuned. I've got more videos coming out. We'll make things very interesting here in the near future. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video, okay?